Good morning and welcome to Morning Messages of Hope and Inspiration. I did a teaser a few months ago and I am so sorry. I am so sorry I didn't share this awesome news. I moved. I had to pack. I had to unpack. I literally moved from Utah to California and it's a lot of work to move. But I want you to know I kept up on eating the low carb and I'm just really proud of myself, but I did not keep up on sharing my journey. So I just want to sort of backtrack and help you and share just some of the cool, good news I have from eating, prioritizing my protein, filling with fat, and controlling the carbs. Thank you, Dr. Bickman. So at the 3-month mark of eating this way, sort of carnivore keto-ish, eating lots of meat, fats, and yeah, that's sort of what I've been eating and controlling the carbs, a little veggies here or there. But like pretty much eating mostly protein and dairy and cheese, meat and cheese, low carb. So after 3 months, I went to my doctor and I got my blood work and I got my results. Everything improved. Everything improved. My blood pressure, which wasn't bad, it still went down. But my A1C was the thing I was really concerned about. I was super concerned about my A1C. When I hit that 6.0 A1C showing that I was pre-diabetic, and I have been pre-diabetic, insulin resistance for at least a decade, right? And I've been experimenting and trying all these things to try to decrease my weight, decrease this insulin resistance, figure out what's going on and how to be healthier. I did not feel good. I did not feel like me. And I kept trying to find something. So when I hit that 6.0, I'm like, I need to make some serious changes. And I pleaded for help. I used prayer, I talked to my doctor, and I did research. And one of the books I came across is Why We Get Sick by Dr. Bickman. And I'm like, okay, Dr. Bickman, okay, I'm going to experiment. If this research is true, and if I'm insulin resistant, this should help me, right? And I really sort of had an antagonistic research feisty approach to this. And as I prayed and as I considered and as I talked to my doctor, I don't have any daughters, as I talked to my doctor and talked to my husband and counseled together, we really felt like this might be a good thing for me to experiment on, of eating mostly meat, prioritizing that protein, filling with fat, and decreasing the carbohydrates significantly. Significantly. I thought I would die. I literally thought I would die if I didn't eat carbohydrates, but I was willing to experiment. My A1C was 6.0 pre-diabetic, and had been pre-diabetic for at least a decade. In 3 months, thank you, Dr. Bickman, thank you, husband, thank you, Jesus Christ, thank you for inspiring me to make some changes. I went from a 6.0 to a 5.5. And for the first time in over a decade, I'm not pre-diabetic. My blood work indicates I am not pre-diabetic. 3 months. Miracles are real. Over a decade, I have been struggling. Miracles are real when we choose to make choices, when we choose to view things in a different way, when we're open to research, when we're open to consulting and counseling with loved ones and with doctors, and choosing to experiment. And I did experiment. I read that book, I studied Dr. Bickman, I talked to my doctor, and he said, you know, I used to not encourage this, but I've just seen some good results from trying things like this. So let's just see what happens. And because of that help and assistance, I went from a 6.0 to a 5.5 A1C, choosing to really limit those carbohydrates. Prioritizing the protein, filling with fat, meat, and cheese is pretty much what I eat. And it's so good. That's one of the results, and I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope and pray that by me sharing my experience, that it can help inspire you to make changes if you, like me, had something you were just really struggling with. Especially for me, it was this insulin resistance, weight around the middle, brain fog, just couldn't lose weight, didn't feel like myself, low energy, just unhealthy. I would get sick so easy when normally I was not really a sickly person, but for the last decade, I just had a lot more issues, fertility issues, just so many different things that as I look back and as I've studied, I think insulin resistance had played a huge part in my health, my negative health. And I'm just so excited to share that after 3 months, my blood work, my A1C went from a 6.0 to a 5.5 by choosing to experiment, prioritizing the protein, filling with fat, and controlling those carbs. I promise, as we are willing to experiment, as we are willing to counsel with others, as we are willing to work with our doctors, or find someone who can help us monitor our health, and as we make choices with the help of God, we can see miracles. And I have seen a huge miracle. I look in the mirror and I'm like, for over a decade, I just struggled. Sorry. I'm just so grateful for Dr. Bickman. I'm so grateful for my husband. I'm so grateful for my doctor. I'm especially grateful for God for pointing me in a direction and teaching me that healing, even at 50, is real. It is real, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining me in morning messages of hope and inspiration. I hope this is inspiration for you. If you have any changes, or if you, like me, were dealing with insulin resistance, please check out Dr. Bickman's book, Why We Get Sick. This is not, currently, I'm not being sponsored by sharing. It's just information I found that has helped me, and I hope it can help you. Have a wonderful day. Love you, and thank you for joining me in Messages of Hope and Inspiration. My name is Jenny McBride.